HPV, human papilloma virus causes, symptoms, prevention. What is HPV? HPV is the most widely recognized sexually transmitted infection, STI. HPV is common to the point that almost all sexually dynamic men and women get it eventually in their lives. Men and women can get cancer of mouth, throat, and anus rectum brought on by HPV. Men can likewise get penile HPV cancer. In women, HPV infection can likewise bring about cervical, vaginal, and vulvar HPV cancers. How do you get infected by HPV? HPV is transmitted through cozy skin-to-skin contact. You can get HPV by having vaginal, anal, or oral sex with somebody who has the infection. It is most generally spread amid vaginal or anal sex. HPV is common to the point that about all men and women get it sooner or later in their lives. HPV can be passed even when an infected person has no signs or symptoms. Two types of HPV as a rule. HPV leaves all alone and does not bring about any health issues. Be that as it may, when HPV does not leave, it can bring about health issues like genital warts and cancer. Genital warts generally show up as a little bump or group of bump in the genital territory. They can be little or vast, raised or level, or shaped like a cauliflower. A healthcare provider can usually diagnose warts by looking at the genital area. HPV cancer. HPV can bring about cervical and different cancers including cancers of the vulva, vagina, penis, or anus. It can also cause cancer in the back of the throat, including the base of the tongue and tonsils, called oropharyngeal tumor. How to prevent HPV and the health problems. You can do a few things to bring down your odds of getting HPV. Get vaccinated. The HPV vaccine is protected and compelling. It can secure male and females against maladies, including cancers, brought on by HPV. CDC prescribes 11 to 12-year-olds get 2 measurements of HPV vaccine to ensure against diseases brought on by HPV. Get screened for cervical cancer. Routine screening for women aged 21 to 65 years old can counteract cervical cancer. In sexually cases, utilize latex condoms the correct way every time you engage in sexual relations. This can bring down your odds of getting HPV. In any case, HPV can contaminate regions that are not secured by a condom, so condoms may not give full assurance against getting HPV. Natural ingredients to cure HPV. Green tea extract. 69% of HPV patients with abnormal cervical cells responded to the treatment with green tea extracts in the study, conducted as compared with a 10% response rate in untreated placebo controls. Hyperice and various species of the hypericum plant have been tested for their immune-boosting and antimicrobial properties. A study to test the efficacy of this extract suggested that the herb may directly interfere with the replication of the viral cells and block their release, leading to their inhibition. Homeopathic nosodes. HPV nosodes are bioenergetic impressions of specific ingredients that empower the immune system to respond specifically. They also contain ingredients that are believed to support the normal structure and function of the immune system. Echinacea. This herb is also believed to enhance immunity and increase the WBC count to counter infections. Who should get vaccinated? All boys and girls ages 11 or 12 years should get vaccinated. Catch-up antibodies are suggested for male through age 21 and for females through age 26. The vaccine is additionally prescribed for gay and cross-sexual men through age 26. How do I know if I have HPV? There is no test to discover a man's HPV status. There are HPV tests that can be utilized to screen for cervical cancer. These tests are prescribed for screening just in women aged 30 years and older. They are not prescribed to screen men, teenagers, or women less than 30 years old. Most people with HPV don't know they are tainted and never create indications or medical issues from it. A few people discover they have HPV when they get genital warts. Women may discover they have HPV when they get an abnormal Pap test result. Research of Biogetica in HPV cases. Biogetica doctors carefully evaluate all research before formulating our groundbreaking kits. There has been growing research on numerous herbs, homeopathic ingredients and supplements globally for boosting immunity in cases of HPV. 69.39% of the women who were given herbs for high-risk HPV were HPV DNA-free after just 6 months, and only 26.53% of the women in the same 294-patient trial given the placebo were HPV DNA-free. For more information visit HPV Cure.